I feel like I talk a lot about sort of forgotten video games on this channel, and I guess that is kind of the point of a retro gaming channel, is to talk about video games that no one really remembers. But have you ever looked at like the Command and Conquer games, and like Command and Conquer's dominantly being RTS games, and just thought to yourself, rather than controlling giant armies and tanks, I would much rather just control that one guy who you use in that one mission that can kill all infantry units very, very quickly? Or have you ever thought, I wonder what his story is? I am of course talking about the commando unit in a lot of the Command and Conquer games, the one that has the explosives and can also instantly kill most unit types but can't kill tanks. Well, what if I told you Westwood Studios came out with a game that exactly is that? Command and Conquer Renegade came out in 2002 and is the only, that I know of, first-person shooter in the Command and Conquer franchise. It's technically canon and it takes place at the end of the first Tiberian War that is depicted in the first game. And just look at this like intro, it is so like 2002, like, and this funky music that played. I think at the time the Matrix was still really, really big, so everything had to have this weird like industrial club music to it that was just a bit over the top, and you know, well, it works, it still bangs. But just before I get any further into the video, if you could do me a huge favour and like the video, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out and you'll be able to keep up to date with all of my content, all of my videos, all of my gameplay videos that come out pretty much every weekday. And leave a comment below if you ever played this game or know anything about this game. I'm genuinely curious to see how many people played this game. But back to the video, yes, so Command and Conquer Renegade. It is a first-person shooter, sometimes third-person shooter, where you take control of a commando person, a commando unit, should I call him? One of the people that you can like build in the Command and Conquer RTS games, and you just get to shoot a load of people, a load of Nod forces. You only do get to play as the GDI in this game, as far as I know, and that is a little bit of a shame. I'd love to play as the Nod forces, play like working for Kane, but you know, is what it is. But what I will say about this game, going back to this, recently was re-released on Steam, so it's quite a lot easier to play at the moment. And what I will say is this is surprisingly good, like really, really fun, way better than I remember it being. It's a proper 2000s shooter. I had so much fun capturing this game. It's super easy, but like not in like a shit way, if that makes any sense. Like, it's easy but it's fun. Like it doesn't sacrifice gameplay and cool moments just because it's like, you know, an easier game. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's still good even though it's not much of a challenge. You still get a lot of enjoyment out of this game. There are some very cool set pieces, as you just seen there, and then some more stuff that you can do later on in the game, which is even cooler, that I think, which I'll get to when the gameplay footage gets to it. One of the more interesting things about this game is the game engine. This game was developed by Westwood Studios, and it's using the in-game engine called the Renegade engine, which was later rebranded to the Westwood 3D engine, and this was the actual sort of basis for all of Westwood's later 3D games. So we're talking like this engine, physics engine, is also used in Command and Conquer Generals, which is a video I'm going to talk about another time, Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2, and Command and Conquer 3. So it's like the first early signs of that 3D engine. So it is a little bit janky in that way, that it's not always perfect, but at the same time it's pretty good, it's pretty polished for what it is. It feels like they knew what they wanted to make and didn't really want to push it too far. Don't want to say it's like a tech demo, because it's not. There's a lot of like weird basic story in this, as weird as a Command and Conquer Tiberian story can be, but it certainly is not rewriting history with any interesting and like thoughtful narratives. Now, at the time when this game was released, I never actually got my hands on it. I used to look at it, cover it, and really want to get this game so badly when it used to be in the shops. However, I did not actually get to pick up and play this game until 2006's Command and Conquer the First Decade, which was pretty much every game in the franchise out at the time in one giant collection that came in a really fancy box. And I'm sure if anyone knows what I'm talking about, they'll know how fancy that blue DVD box was, made out of weird thick cardboard and felt really strange to touch. Now, one of the things I did mention earlier, which is kind of cool, is all of the units, weapons and everything in this game is something out of the original Command and Conquer game. They haven't just like they haven't just made stuff up here, if that sounds weird to say. Everything kind of looks like how the weird like 3D renderings of the game stuff looked in the first one. I know it's not really good English at all, but I can't believe to really record that line. And overall, if you're a big fan of the RTS games, there's a lot to love and a lot of love and care that went into this game. Now, for a long time in 2014, a load of fans were trying to get a Renegade X remake for this game to come back out. It was kind of like a mod community sort of thing that went out, and it just petered out a little bit, I guess. I don't really know what else to say. I can't find much more information other than Wikipedia, and I don't really trust Wikipedia. But what I will say I like the most about this game is the open-endedness of the levels and how much freedom it just gives you to do whatever the fuck you want, which is really fun. You can more or less use any weapon that you find, and one of the things that I found really cool, I did show you this earlier, that you can cool down the Eon laser strike or ion laser, whatever you want to call it, just seemingly at random points. I thought, like, earlier you saw it in the video, that it was part of a cutscene. I thought, surely not, it's not just going to let me randomly cool it down, so I placed the beacon in that hand of nod structure there. Just thought I'd stand back and watch what happened, and yeah, sure enough, you can absolutely destroy stuff. Interestingly, all the buildings get damaged and you can use them, you can go into them all and destroy everything, which is also very cool. Don't know how these Nod soldiers survived being in the middle of an ion strike, but they did, and then it was my choice to go in there and with a sniper and a flamethrower and clear everyone out, which also was very cool. Also, there's no recoil on the sniper rifle and no bullet drop, so you can just knock people out from fucking miles away. It's brilliant. Completely broken, but very fun. He's just talking about Command and Conquer Renegade, a completely forgotten first-person shooter from the early 2000s. If you remember this game, please like the video. And if you want to see more of my content, subscribe to the channel, because there are plenty of retro gaming content coming out every single week. This whole month, I will be talking all about the Command and Conquer series. This is the second video in the series. If you want to see another one about Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun, please just check out my videos. I'll link it below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.